Joining me in studio is Bramuel Mwalo, founder and chief executive officer of the Nairobi-based Xetova. Hello, welcome to Africa 54.
Hi, Paul. Thank you.
So tell us, what is Xetova all about?
So our work is simply to make intelligence available for the continent to make informed decisions. So, and this means in terms of how financing, how risk is handled, how healthcare is managed. We don't have as many resources as every other place in the continent, which doesn't mean we don't have conventional resources, but we have other resources that could be used differently. So our work is simply to make information available, and we use technology and data science and AI to do that.
How are people embracing that?
So technically, a solution is a solution, and if it fixes a problem, then it's going to be embraced. So our work really hasn't been pushing technology. Our work is using technology to build actual, meaningful, impactful solutions, to drive corporate decision-making, corporate leadership, and even government services. And we've gotten traction. For 3 years, we've actually achieved a lot.
So if I hear you correctly, you seem to suggest that you're actually bringing technology into the mix here. But a lot of people on the continent are sort of not up to speed when it comes to embracing some of these technologies, especially when you talk about AI. What's so different with the kind of technology you bring to the table?
Yeah, so there's an assumption that technology is not adopted in the continent. That's not true. It's technology that doesn't fit the continent is what doesn't get adopted, because we create our own technology. Talk of mobile money, it's best in Africa. Talk about different sets of technology. They actually have traction. It's just context. So we build technology with context. Technology that actually works in the continent, that is mindful of the continent's context, and that's simply what we solve. So we build things that can be used for Africa, and that actually makes entire difference in terms of technology adaptability.
When it comes to your daily day-to-day operations, doing this, going around the continent, trying to pitch some of these ideas, what comes into mind? How are leaders or people who run these organizations tapping into this, because you bring solutions to the table?
Yeah, so I think it's just the mindfulness that Africa is not just, because of its size, it doesn't mean that we don't have capability to spend. We just need things that actually make sense to us. Other than spending $2 million on a piece of technology that I'm only going to use 30% of it, it doesn't make sense. I might as well spend the same $1 million on a piece of technology that I can use 120% to create more value and more value. If that technology is put on the table, it's not even the technology put on the table, the solution put on the table, it will get traction. There's value because it will create impact, and that impact will have a dividend which will result to affordability of that technology. So I don't think there is a problem with adoption of technology in the continent. It's just which technology are we talking about?
You bring up a very good point. You talk about the type of technologies on the continent, but there is also competition. How are you dealing with the likes of Google, the likes of let's say IBM? These are people who are tapping Oracle, people who are tapping into the same thing that you're trying to do.
So we are not really competitors, and looking at probably people like Oracle, IBM, and the rest, they play a different game. Our work actually makes their work makes their work better. For instance, the work that Xetova does, it simply makes the work of Oracle and IBM 10 times more valuable, because our work is simply make data make sense. Their systems make data, capture data, ERP systems and all that stuff. But our work simply makes data make sense. The more people use our technology, the more value it creates for them. So we are sort of the middleware, the complementing partner that makes technology relevant to everyday life. So simply, it's not really competition. We are the context people. We make technology have context on the continent. So that's what makes us very important.
Very briefly, you are here as part of the African Leaders Summit. Were you able to engage with the African leaders, and were they receptive to some of the things that you're trying to push on the continent?
Yes, we were invited to basically share our stories and to engage with several leaders. And I think it's more of just the awareness that there is actually local companies like Xetova that could actually do what we are doing. And that has been a highlight for us.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you so much. Bramuel Mwalo is the founder and chief executive officer of Xetova, based in Nairobi, Kenya.